Okay, class, so I'm getting tons of questions regarding Labtainer. So I'm going to start out, and depending on when you're watching this, you might be watching it during the time that the pass crack is due or after. But I recommend you do take a look at it. I'm going to try to do all the Labtainers in this class, but we'll see how far we get. All right, so Labtainer pass crack. When I run that, it's going to pull some information. I've already ran that, so it's already there. If you didn't, you're going to see a bunch of different lines to pull the Labtainer instance. So we'll right click this, open, right click open, and right click open. Right. So now we have all of the things that we need, or all the things that they've given us. Honestly, we have our reports. And then we have our guides, right? So let's take a look at this one. Hit enter. And we started our pass crack. This is not the same. If I do an IF, actually I don't even have to. You see how this says Labtainer VirtualBox? That is the main machine, right? That's the virtual machine that we downloaded from the Naval Postgraduate School. This is a Docker image. It's run, so it's there, right? Let me see if I run a Docker PS, I think. So see how it shows that it's running? That's what we're in. So you have to make sure that you're careful when you're putting in these configs because they have to be put in inside of the actual Docker image, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to type the more /etc/PASWD. It's going to give us some information here. It's a list of all the users that have potentially logged onto the screen, as it says right here. Our account, so if you hit the space button, space bar, it'll show all of it, and then we have our student. This is ours, right? The account that we're using. Not too hard. So now I'll do a more /Etsy/shadow. And this is going to show what's called our, it would show our passwords file, right? Our Etsy/password is not our password file. That's where all the digests are stored, but the actual passwords are stored here, right? But we have to escalate privileges for that. So we'll do a sudo more /Etsy/shadow. And that gives us it, right? And you can see spacebar. You can see how ours is encrypted. And try opening the password with root privileges so you can gain. After entering your password, you should be able to see the contents of the shadow file. Go to the bottom of the shadow password file to see the entry for your account. Each line in the shadow file is separated into fields, just these different fields here. Within the field designator, yep. All right, so we could execute. The next thing we're going to do, determine the hash function that would be used to generate the value currently stored in the entry of your shadow file. Execute the following command to list some of your account information where the TAC L is the letter L, not the number 1. You have to be careful of that, right? So we'll do a CHH TAC L. And let me see. So you can tell, right, if you're careful. You see how there's a slanted top? And then there's a not slanted top. It's very subtle, but it's there. Student, and we'll hit enter. So this shows It's going to show some of our account information. It's going to show maximum number of days between password change, maximum number of days between password change. So minimum to maximum 0 to 999, number of days of warnings before password expires 7, password expires. All of these things, right? So let's talk about dictionary attacks. I'm not going to go through I'm not going to put the information in the actual the lab report. I'll leave that up to you, but I want to share this specifically, just kind of walk it through. All right, so password cracking. You'll notice this is not, in fact, a Unix-like password file. It is actually an HT password format, which can be used by an Apache web server to provide password-based access controlled to portions of a website. The line, Alice, oops, sorry. Oh, there we go. So cat, see how I skipped around? When I skip around, causes problems, right? So there we go. So there's the line. It shows that that's in SHA-1. And the digest is stored in a base 64 encoding. Digest of ABC, so on and so forth. Examine the digest values for each user. Simple dictionary attack. So for this one, /crack SHA. Capitalization matters here. PY HT tech PASS or HT PASS word tech SHA1 tiny list.txt. Cool. So what are we doing here? Well, let's take a look. How would I find out what I'm doing, right? I know, right? /crack should. Let's see. It might. Let's see. So let's do let's see if they've got -- help. So there's no syntax for the -- help, but that's okay. Cat crack shop. So what are we looking at here? So for words and words, strip CR from word, hash with SHA, words tried. Compare the new hash with every hash on file. And then display results, increment, index, stop time. So let's see. Print found. Yep. All right, so we catted this. When we catted it, is a lot. That's okay. I'm looking, sorry. I'm just kind of going over some of this stuff. Doesn't really show you, but if you wanted to, you could probably go to GitHub, and there's probably something similar on GitHub that you can kind of dig into as well. But for now, right, this is what we did. I'm guessing we did a // we ran this Python with HT password tag SHA, so that has the passwords in it, the one we just ran. And then let's do a cat tiny list. So this just has a list of all of the passwords that we're going to have it check against, right? It is a tiny list. It looks like a lot, but it's not a lot to computers. All right. So we got that done. Now we'll do we did our simple dictionary attack. Now I'll do this one. So common password dictionary attack. So /, crack sha.py and ht password sha1 big. So we're going to run the big list, right? So let's see what happens. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it still goes through perfectly fine. All we're doing is saying compare, check the ht password tax SHA file, and compare it against this file here, the big list. Not hard stuff. So considering execution time, so let's do a /crack md.py ht password md5 big list. There we go. All right. So I did that one. Now we'll check, do the following file names to see the sorted dictionary word. So ls calc. And calc A9. So that has a whole bunch of stuff in it as well. So this contains all the words from the big list. All right, so let's do a /crack pre ht password sha1 calc. All right, nice. So that gives us some information here as well. Make sure you record that in the documentation and then complete it as needed. So now let's do a personal experimentation. ht password tac sc. Let's see if we can do a tac help. So this gives us all the information that we have for ht password. If you're not familiar with Linux, you can do a tac help pipe, and let's say there's an sc there. So let's do a we'll say s. Let me see if I can do it this way. Not that one. Oh, sorry. grep. Nope. So we have some information here that we can use, right? I'm still kind of getting used to grep. So there's a couple things you can do in here, kind of play around with it. So all kinds of things, right? There's probably some guides on how to use it as well. I find it helpful. It's pretty awesome. Especially when you're trying to figure stuff out or you're trying to search some files. Definitely some help files. All right, so we have our HTTP password, tag sc, HT password, tag me, and we'll run Alice. You can add other entries for the password. Okay, so we have Alice, ABC, ABC 1 2 3, verification error. So there we go. Added a password. So we could do the same thing with Bob. And then we'll do that for Bob real quick. I just did an ABC 1 2 3. I'm gonna do ABC 1 2 3 for Bob as well. Okay. So now let's do a /crack pre HT password me calc. So shows you what Bob's password was, which was ABC 1 2 3. Right, that's the one that I just set. And now we just do a stop pass crack. Oh, see that? I just did the same thing. Check that out. We have to stop it over here. Stop pass crack. Oh, sorry, stop lab. So there we go. Let's see if we still have our little person over here. So that's gone. We closed out the file, and it didn't really save anything. So, but it will in our next one. So that was PassCrack. Take a look at it, play around with it. There's some other things you can do to make your experience a little better with Labtainer. But for right now, I just want to show you that quick walkthrough. So thanks for taking the time.